Happy Friday. You've heard the term the other side of the tracks, right? We know what that means. Either we know what the words mean, or sometimes we can get what the tone of voice might communicate, right? Well, she lives on the other side of the tracks. You've heard it that way, yes? Or he's had a hard life, he grew up on the other side of the tracks. And we think of maybe if there's somebody in our world that we need to help. Sometimes we use that phrase. Christians will say, well, let's go serve someone on the other side of the tracks. We get that from Jesus's teaching, right? When he said, love your neighbor. In fact, when he said that, somebody questioned him right away. You ever have that experience? Even on social media, you'll say something and immediately somebody writes back, oh yeah, well what about? Jesus got that too. He said, love your neighbor. And immediately somebody clapped back, oh yeah, well who's my neighbor? Jesus answered that question by telling a story. We say a parable, right? And in that story, the hero, the good guy, was a Samaritan. To all those in earshot, when Jesus said that, they knew that he had just made the hero of the story their generations-long enemy. And Jesus said, love your neighbor. Who's your neighbor? Consider this man, who you might have called your enemy before, but now, because Jesus says so, he's your neighbor. Love him. What if we all did a better job of living that out today in our world, the world we live in, and we express the idea to everyone? There's not an enemy here. Our enemy is not another human. In fact, they're all our neighbors. And Jesus said to love your neighbor. Wouldn't that make it better, this world? And wouldn't that make it a better Happy Friday?